Well, what's up, guys? So back from our trip from Florida, and we got to change the oil in the bike because this is the first time that I've gone over my mileage before I was ready to do an oil change. Usually I do about every 6 months. 6 months is usually good for about 5,000 miles. In the last 2 months, I put over 5,000 miles on the bike. So it's time to change the oil. So first thing we got to do, obviously, crank up the bike, get her up to temp. So I'm sure you don't want to watch that, so I'm going to let her run for about 5 minutes until the radiator fans come on, and then I'm going to change oil. Got to get that thing out of the way, though. Anybody want it? You can come get it. Just kidding. Kind of. So it looks like we also have a service light. So we're going to get to reset the service timer again. Another video. Now I'll put it in this video. It's easy. It's 5 seconds. All right, let's get our tools together and get moving. All right, so we're going to refer to our cheat sheet. Our sump plug is a 8mm Allen. Our crankcase plug is a 5mm Allen. So I've got those pulled here. You're also going to need this, which you'll find out if you haven't seen me already. This is a cheater. When you pull this out, it fits perfectly into that 8mm, and that's what I take the plug off and on with. Keeps me from over torquing it because it's there. And also in my little mix, I include this. Potty training papers for puppies. This is the best, easiest way to clean up a hot mess oil spill. And I always have 2 of them because you never know when you need to throw another one down, because oil, like, well, other things, don't squirt in the right direction when you want them to. So, all right, I'm gonna get it set up and get on this. And then of course I have this. So to get to the filter, it's not a pain in the ass. I've got the special filter for it with a 3/8 ratchet. But to get it off, you've got to pull this, and it ain't hard. Just flip that off. Pull this. See, and notice I'm doing this before I change the oil, where I can get it out of the way. That ain't going nowhere. Obviously, I can't lose that because it's right there, right? And then pop that right off. I do have more white lithium grease to put back in that. I'm going to clean that out with a Q-tip and clean it before I put it back together. I say that, but let's see if I can remember to actually do it. All right, we're going to get to this now. One thing I would like to add, so the filter I like to use is this one, the Male OC306. I get it off of Amazon. Important to note, no fitting on this for a socket, and for good reason, because you can't use it. I know it's very cool. Everybody says, yeah, get the ones with the sockets on it. You can put a 3/8 sockets on it and they come right off. Here's the problem with this. Here's your shifter arm. This goes here. If you use the one with the socket on it, you will not be able to shift because this will, well, ruin your day. Put it in a light way. You will not be able to shift because it gets right in the way. You have maybe less than a 1/2 inch, probably 3/8. So yeah, so when you go to order them, keep that in mind. You're welcome. Also use this, also got off Amazon. This is a metal one. I like the metal better than the plastic because depending on what you're doing, the plastic ones choose very inopportune times to crack on you. This is metal, I trust it. The socket won't rip out. You know, this thing might have, I don't know, 5 to 8 pounds of force on it to get it off and on, but sometimes you got to add extra crank on it, and I sure don't want to break a damn wrench and then not be able to get it off. That's all I have to say about that. I swear to God, now we're going to change the oil. Oh wait, there's one more thing. I know people do like to say when you change your oil to take off your fill plug. I do not like to pull that fill plug out until I'm already got it draining, because simply that also acts as your case vent. Yes, there is a vent on the case somewhere, but if you pull that off, you'll get all the oil all the time immediately. And if you leave it in there, then it's got to go through the vent, and it'll be a slower drain, and it doesn't go everywhere. It's not all trying to get out at once. Hope that made sense. I swear to God, now I'm going to change oil. Probably. So with our 8mm and our cheater, got a little cheater here, right? Let's put our 8mm in it if it's perfectly. And then let's try not to rip the bike down. I don't want to push the bike forward. We got her loose now. And let's try not to burn the crap out of ourselves. Sometimes we just can't help it. But let's do what we can. I got a t-shirt on standby. All right. Let that bad girl drain. While we're doing that, I'm gonna wipe off. Let's check out the plug. Let's see here. Here it is. Nope, I don't see any metal parts on it, so we're gonna let that girl drain for a minute. And the good thing about having a diaper here is I can just throw all my stuff down right on top of the diaper without having to worry about it getting all over the floor. Crush washer still looks good. And yeah, I'm kind of frugal, but crush washer doesn't look bad. So I'm going to use it again. We'll let that drain for a hot minute. While I'm under here laying on the ground looking at everything underneath it, I'm going to check everything out, make sure the bike doesn't have any damage under the bottom, and check out my catalytic converters. Check out that wishbone that they replaced that I could have done myself at home. Bastards. I only do the rear hub oil change once a year. So, not for now. Even then, every time I drain it out, it looks brand new. My brakes look, they look okay. I'm probably gonna, at the next oil change, I'll change my rear brakes. The front ones seems to look like they never wear out. But always check them. But the front brakes look great. The rear brakes look fine for now, but I will change them on the next one. Alright, so here's the next part that freaks people out. Up inside here, there's another crankcase plug. It's a 5mm. It's not in there very deep, and this is not very tight. This is not, getting it off isn't what scares people. It's that it's just a drain plug. But if you're careful, like I'm not, so back it all the way out, and it's got a very deep well for the Allen. Okay, it's loose now, so I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to let all the oil come out around my fingers. It's a little warm, not a big deal. But that's usually what's going to make it push off, is this oil. You're trying to get it out. Try not to burn yourself. You burn yourself really badly anyway. So let's back it up slowly. And it's out. Obviously you can drop it in the oil, because I just did. But I don't think it's actually going to fall inside the case. I've never seen anybody do it. I've never heard anybody do it. But that is the rumor that goes around, so people freak out a lot. Alright, another wrench goes onto the diaper. Let me see if I can get you guys in a position where you're not just looking at the bottom of the bike. Let's see if I can do that without getting oil everywhere. Hi, how are you? Come here often. Now I can go digging around inside there, or I can get a magnetic finger. I choose magnetic finger. Magnetic finger to the rescue. Alright, so we're gonna wipe it off. Can you see me? Can you see me now? Wipe her off real good. Pat her down in there. Alright, so this one does not have a seal on it. It's basically, I think, just to keep the oil up in the crankcase a little longer, get her a little hotter. Okay, and this does not have to be tight. Finger tight is perfect for it. And then get this one back in. Torque stick on this one is about that. 2 fingers worth. All right, that ain't going nowhere. We're gonna drag our little pan this way. Now I have a little thing that's supposed to be to catch the oil and divert it. I guess I should try it. I tried it last time. It didn't work very well, but maybe I'd used it wrong. So let's try it again. Seems like it would just spit the oil right out on top of you, but hey, I'll try anything once. Tighty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Third, fourth time today I've had to remind myself that. All right, let's get this out of the way for a second. Okay. Now, and if you get oil all over the bike, big deal. I mean, you're gonna wash it anyway, right? Okay, we're gonna try to get it in there, make as little mess as possible. Okay, so this time it's working pretty good. I'm mostly just trying to keep it from getting on the parts of the exhaust that will make a mess. And I think I did. I think I was successful. Drain the rest of it into your oil pan. All right, and that's also going to go on the diaper. God, these diapers are such a great idea. Who thought of it? I actually stole it from somebody. I'm not going to take credit, but man, it's a great idea. Memory for next time, put the roll of paper towels closer to me. Doggy diaper can't save me every time, although it kind of is so far. So somebody was asking me the other day what kind of oil I use. This pretty much religiously is it. That's what I use. Nothing fancy. Well, I guess it is fancy if you want to look at it that way. But Liquid Moly is what they use in MotoGP. It is suggested for this bike. Now, if you go to your dealer, they'll say, oh, don't use anything but BMW, it'll avoid your warranty, da-da-da-da. Well, anybody that's familiar with Harley's thing right now, yeah, nothing's going to avoid your warranty unless you purposely destroy the bike or do something to it that was going to destroy the bike. So, yeah, this is what I use. It's what I've used all the time. I have bought from the dealer once because I told him I would. And after that, he raised his prices, and I said, okay, well, I can get it somewhere else. Note, though, all of the things that I'm using are BMW approved and BMW parts. So we are going to just put a bit of oil in this. We are not going to fill it up. Don't fall for that trick. People will mess with you and tell you got to fill it up. What you want to do is get the element wet, which doesn't take a whole lot, because when you put oil in it, it's going to get into it anyway. But you get the element wet, and that should be plenty. Take a little residual out of the, when you poured it, put it around, rub it in, rub it in. Okay, notice I put probably 1/4 of a cup in there, and nothing's coming out, because it's just saturated the element. That's all you really want. You don't have to go crazy with it. All right. So, can you see me now? Sure, I'm getting oil all over my damn camera. It is what it is, right? And then we'll go back to righty tighty from the lefty loosey. And you do not have to go crazy with this. I promise you. There's a torque spec on this. Pretty much once it tightens up, it doesn't need to be tightened anymore. If it starts leaking, you're gonna know it. I'd rather it be a little too loose than a little too tight. Actual spec on it says the filter needs to be, wait for it, 11 Newton meters. Yeah, that's not much. Do not over torque it. You'll be sorry. You'll have a bad day. All right. So we're going to clean out our socket that our shifter arm goes into. With a Q-tip. I'm going to dry the outside of the socket. Make sure that you don't lose your felt washer. That kind of keeps the dust out and then holds your grease in. And here's the funniest part. I'm probably going to use a dab of grease about as big as an eraser, a pencil eraser. But the smallest I could find it in was this size. And that's what kind of that I use. And guess where I got it? If you said Amazon, you'd be right. Put a little bit on the Q-tip. That's all you really need. Stick it in there. A little bit more on the ball. This is overkill, but whatever you don't need is going to come out. And snap her back in. Now, this is the most important part. Everybody listen? Can you hear me? Move the oil pan out of the way before you try to put the pin back in. So our oil pan is still up here. Make sure it's pushed all the way in. You've got a little, let's see if I can go for grease on my hands to do this. There's a very little pin hole on the back side of the, so I can't even see, I don't even think I can get it. So yeah, right there, there's a little pin hole. So, I mean, because you can do it whatever way you want to, but I'll stick my finger behind it and guide it in. Once it's in, snap it around, push on it, and then you have to say, that ain't going anywhere, or it'll go somewhere. I promise. That's how this stuff works. And the rest, I'm not going to slow you down. You just put the oil back in and make sure it doesn't leak. So we'll pick up when I go to do the service reset. So here's something, just as if I haven't harped on it enough. When I put my oil filter away, I'll clean it out real good, take a wad of paper towel, shove it in it, and then stick this in a bag. That way, if I pull it out next time, the paper towel will dry up most of the oil that's in it, but most importantly, you won't have a lot of dust collecting inside your funnel. So you're welcome. So the next thing we do is to make sure you put it in your service record. Hey, there's something you can't do with a Harley. Right on it while it's running. Oh, whatever. All right, so the next thing to do is take the seat off. See if I can give you a good show. I'll leave it connected because, so here's where the magic happens. So now I'm going to do something that everybody keeps telling me that I can't do. Reset the service timer. So this is what I use. OBD Link MX. I got the cable because it said I needed it, but then once I got it, I did not need it. So this is all you need. And the MotoScan app. Now you can keep this plugged up, they say, and keep track of your bike. I don't. It's fine if I don't. I'm not going to be running diagnostic checks on it while I run it. So we're going to power the bike up. We're going to pick the K series because it's a K. And the K4 and the K48. We're going to go into instrument cluster. Okay, so we're hooked up. Read trouble codes. Don't know what they are. Alright, so we're going to clear them. There's no active ones, they're done. Now we're going to go to service reset. So I had the last one. It comes out in kilometers. So mileage, so we're going to do a $5,000. We're going to reset the date. Current odometer mileage 31,220. So next service at 5,000 kilometers. So our next service is scheduled for 2/26/2023. I don't know exactly how that comes up with that, but today's 11/8, the next one's at 2/26, that's 3 months away, or 5,000 kilometers. So now, we turn the bike off. Power it down. Power it back up. And we don't have the service light anymore. We'll crank it up just for the hell of it. All right, so that's it. I keep getting told you can't do it, it won't reset it. I'm not sure if the reason it's not resetting is maybe they're not restarting. You have to shut the motorcycle off, power it down, and then restart it to set the service reminder. So you can set it anything you want to. I set, and it comes up, it's default at 10,000. I set mine at 5,000 miles, which was about 3,200 miles. So works for me. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. I mean, it's as easy as that. I'm not lying to you. The thing works. Hope you got something out of this video. If not, fine. Share it anyway. Give it a like. Comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. I always work on the bike myself unless it's something that service says I can't do myself. And even then, I'm going to give it a try unless it's something that involves actually going into the engine cases. Because for now, the 6-cylinder engine, I really don't want to go into the cases. So